Okay, so it's been a while since I've talked to you guys in the camera here. But anyways, how's it going, you guys? Spideyco64 back here again, and we're here to talk about Marvel here today. It's been a while since we've talked about Marvel Studios and all that sort of stuff. No, really, it's been a very long time, and of course, it's not by accident. If you haven't been keeping up with the news of Marvel, basically everything in terms of Disney Plus shows and even some of the movies have been pushed back. Some due to the writer's strike that's going on right now as the time I'm recording this video. And then, of course, as well, because of, pretty much Marvel has just been pushing out movies and TV shows minute after minute. That's, a lot of people are kind of getting tired of them. And thing is with me is that as a Marvel fan myself, I've been a Marvel fan for a very long time. I can really tell you that it's been a very I have to just say it's really kind of not enjoyable to be a Marvel fan anymore. I mean, I kind of hardly really do there's not really much hype around Marvel right now. And I think a lot of people also probably gonna tell me there's really no hype with Star Wars either. The difference is just with Star Wars is that at least at least Star Wars are being a little bit more restrained when it comes to pushing out things and all that sort of stuff. They are a bit more restrained, and to be quite fair, I found more enjoyment in The Mandalorian more than any other Marvel project or all that sort of stuff. But anyways, we're here to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the final chapter in the Guardians story, I guess we can say. Before I get into the video, I just want to address there are spoilers here in this video. I'm going to talk about spoilers, like massive spoilers. So please go out and watch the film and then come back here. Or if you're a Marvel hater, then come stick around and hear what I have to say about this. Now, let's answer the big question. Was this movie good or was it bad? I want to say the simple answer is I think it was a good movie. I thought it was good. I had a good time while watching it. That's the simple, short answer. But there's a bit more to it than that. So let's just get into the gist of things. Let's talk about the good stuff about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. One of the good things of this film, I think, in my opinion, the greats, let's talk about the good stuff, is the characters. Of course, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Karen Gillan, all these actors are still great as the characters. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula, and, all that sort of stuff. Vin Diesel still great, as Groot and all that sort of stuff. And also, Mantis as well. I'm blanking on the actress's name who plays Mantis. I'm so sorry, but the characters were great in this film, and I still love these characters to this day. I really find myself, a pretty big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. And I mean, I wasn't a fan when they were just nobodies. Definitely, James Gunn and his work has made these characters iconic, and all that sort of stuff. And also, too, this was a really well-made film, also from James Gunn as well, and all that sort of stuff. James Gunn's filmography is pretty cool, if you ask me. And the thing also with this film as well is just that this is his final Marvel film, and if this is going to be his last one, because we all know that he's going to go off and basically get DC back rolling, basically after just the basically how the universe has been going over there. That's a topic for another day, but the point here is that James Gunn did a great job with this film, I would say. Other points I want to say about this film is it's funny. The jokes were genuinely funny. There was an F bomb in this film, uncensored, not like that F bomb in Iron Man 2 and not like the cutaway F bombs in the Spider Man films. No. Basically, Star Lord just says, open the fucking door. And all that sort of stuff. That was something I was expecting. And all that sort of stuff. Also, just the way some scenes were filmed here, and I will get to it here in a bit. And then also, too, the main villain of this film, the High Evolutionary. I think that's the dude's name. And all that sort of stuff. High Evolutionary. Probably one of the, not if probably the best villains from Marvel we've seen. And Marvel has had a bad track record with villains, but High Evolutionary definitely was a standout in this film. And certainly, and all that sort of stuff. I'll talk about the villains in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. We'll kind of talk about all three films altogether, and we'll see kind of how things sort of go from there and all that sort of stuff. But I pretty much said all the good. I think I said pretty much all the good I love about this film and all that sort of stuff. The action scenes were also pretty cool too, and all that sort of stuff. There's a really cool fight scene, like they're in this corridor and they're just blasting, and this is over the top craziness and all that sort of stuff, and whatnot, sort of have you. And the main character of this film is Rocket Raccoon, and all that sort of stuff. His story is expanded upon and has so much emotional weight to it that you can't help but just, cry. And all that sort of stuff. The scenes with Rocket were just incredibly just emotional. And I have to say, the Rocket Raccoon flashback scenes, we're getting to spoilers here. Rocket's flashbacks, his flashback scenes, probably some of the best stuff we've seen from Marvel in a long time. Probably some of the best stuff we've done. And also, the thing here too was that this film, while its tone, it kind of goes back and forth in between places. I really kind of have to admit that and all that sort of stuff. But no, the tone was really, when it was serious, it was serious. And then when it was just funny, it was funny as hell and all that sort of stuff. But I guess now it is time that we kind of get into the bad, or I guess the stuff I kind of didn't like in this film, first of all. So, first of all, I just want to kind of get one thing out of the way here, and that is sort of something that I think Marvel are really kind of struggling with, and that is stakes, I have to say. Now, the thing was going into this film, people were saying, I've been hearing all around that this is the final Guardians of the Galaxy film. Some characters are probably going to die and all that sort of stuff. And I was kind of expecting that there would be maybe some major deaths in this movie. And all that sort of stuff. Because, once again, it kind of comes back to what I said in Ant-Man 3 and a bunch of all the other MCU films. And that is sort of, how long do these actors... here's the thing, is that how long can some of these actors still play the characters and all that sort of stuff? That's just kind of the thing. It's like, Marvel were so keen on, really, I thought really kind of after Endgame that they would begin saying, okay, it's some of these characters, it's their end now and all that sort of stuff. Especially with, Tony, and all that sort of stuff at the end of Endgame and all that sort of stuff. But the thing with this film is just that there was just no stakes whatsoever. Pretty much all the characters pretty much live. There's and all that sort of stuff. Like, I was honestly expecting there to be some kind of deaths and all that sort of stuff. And the reason, now here's the thing, I don't wish, it's kind of weird to wish death on I guess, a character. But the thing I'm trying to get across here is that when you have, like, I guess these characters, when you have characters that mean so much to people, and when they're gone, I think really it just ramps up the stakes and just really kind of just, says that, there are some that really, like I said before, the stakes are high. And then also just, at the same time, it's like, it just shows that, I mean, that the characters that all these characters have a beginning and a middle and an end. And the thing out of this is that, like, I honestly really think that this film really struggled with that. I mean, I kind of, after the film, I mean, now here's kind of the thing is that I really do wonder what is Marvel gonna do with some of these characters. And it's kind of weird how I've been also just been seeing too, how as well, like, some actors have even gone out of their way just to say, "Oh, I'm not playing that character." I honestly thought that Drax was gonna die because Dave Bautista has just not been liking working with Marvel and all that sort of stuff, and you can really kind of tell because because Batista didn't have his shirt off. Drax basically was wearing a shirt the whole time, which was weird. And then also, Zoe Saldana as well, as Gamora and all that sort of stuff. Sure, he has a big ass franchise on her hands, but playing Neytiri as in James Cameron's Blue Cat series and all that sort of stuff. Blue Cat series that's making billions of dollars. And I got also the same thing too is that the same thing goes with Chris Pratt also as well, as Star-Lord. Now, those three characters I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe it was time for them maybe to go, or maybe how I actually kind of think though Star-Lord's end in this film, which basically he goes back to Earth and all that sort of stuff, which felt overwhelming and all that sort of stuff. And whatnot sort of have you. Yeah, it felt a bit overwhelming because I don't know. I was expecting some of this grandiose thing, but no, it's just, yeah, I'm here and I'm just eating cereal and all that sort of stuff. Which was funny as hell, by the way, but I mean, like, still, just why? But I wasn't thinking, but here's the thing, was that, like, I don't think that Rocket was going to die in this film. They had me there, but no, they did not. I was kind of thinking, no, Rocket's not going to die, or Groot's not going to die, Mantis or Nebula not going to die. I was going to imagine that, just some characters would, just leave and all that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, I have a blister right here, like, on my finger, and it's bugging the hell out of me, but the thing of, like I said, that's kind of the biggest thing I really kind of was going out of this movie. I just felt like, okay, so there's that, I guess. We'll see what Marvel going to do with some of these characters. Now, they could possibly appear. I think there's a good chance that some of these characters are going to appear in another Avengers film. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. And the thing also, too, is just that I really kind of do think Marvel really kind of needs to start moving on from some of these characters. There's a kind of a few that we can keep and all that sort of stuff. But, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's kind of what I found it kind of odd about this film. Just really broadly speaking about it. I guess another also complaint I also have with this film as well is, Adam Warlock. He sucked in this film. He's just there. He's just really only there just to, I'm here. I'm super fucking powerful. I leave. I come back. I leave and I come back. You see what I mean? Adam Warlock was the lamest freaking thing I've probably ever seen. And all that sort of stuff. Ugh, Marvel, really, damn. They're taking these cool characters, MODOK in the last film, and all that sort of stuff. Why, Marvel? Why? Not saying I'm the biggest Adam Warlock fan, but I mean, it's like, you could have done something better with him, honestly. It was just a butt of a joke half of the time. And also, kind of another thing, too, is that I think that the second Guardians film, most of the jokes didn't land for me there, but still kind of here. It's just, yeah, some jokes didn't really land for me and all that sort of stuff. But, and then the High Evolutionary also, too, at sometimes just kind of just feels over the top and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't help for the fact that his costume is goofy as hell and all that sort of stuff. The one part of his design I like is that he's wearing a face mask and all that sort of stuff. And then they showed his face, which, that's another thing too. I actually was like, oh, wow. I did not expect Marvel to show that much. I didn't expect them to show that much gore, but goddamn, it's like Two-Face. Yeah, it's basically like Two-Face from the Dark Knight. What the fuck? What the hell? Wow, that's pretty brutal. Probably one of the goriest things probably from Marvel in the MCU, probably, but all that sort of stuff. And I guess now to bring back everything here, let's kind of talk about all the Guardians films here and how this one stacks up and how this one stacks up with what we've been seeing from the MCU. So, in terms of the Guardians films, which this is a whole trilogy, all directed by James Gunn and all that sort of stuff, I have to say, the way I rate the Guardians films is, well, how they are. Guardians 1, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie is the best one. And is probably one of the best Marvel films. MCU films. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I still really like. And all that sort of stuff. The biggest thing for me was that the jokes just kind of felt, they overstay its welcome. But I still think it's a top tier Marvel film. This one, on the other hand, it's good, just it doesn't reach the level, I think, of the first two films, I think. And all that sort of stuff. But the fact of the matter is that, here's the thing. I'm glad that James Gunn got to finish the Guardians trilogy. And all that sort of stuff. And you could really tell that, yeah, this was going to be the end. And I guess maybe, if I can kind of maybe retrack anything, I guess maybe for some of these characters, maybe it's just really is the end for some of them. Like, we don't know. Maybe Peter Quill maybe is just going to retire and just go live a normal life. Or hell, maybe even Gamora is just going to chill out with the Ravagers. I really have no idea. But yeah, you could really tell that this was the end and all that sort of stuff with some of these characters. And I guess now, in terms of also, too, of how this ranks up with the MCU. Now, we all know that the MCU has just been going through rough patches. We all know that. The last movies have not been the hits that Marvel have been wanting. There are really only two films that I feel like that were hits, that were like bangers. Spider-Man No Way Home and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. In terms of their TV shows, Loki really is the only really good one. Honestly, it really is. Was this a big hit for Marvel, or this is one of their better films? Honestly, I kind of have to put the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 probably around the same area as a lot of these post-Endgame films. I'm not really going to call these phases anymore just because there's no plan. Phase 1, 2, and 3 felt different from each other. But all these films just feel all the same, all the hollow. Such films such as, Black Widow, okay, kind of like that film. Still appreciate Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Shang-Chi, I don't know, that's kind of forgettable film. Now thinking about it. I liked it when I saw it, but I certainly kind of don't care for it. Eternal sucked. Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, banger film. And then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Just I don't know what happened with that film. Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi, don't ever direct another franchise film. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, a great film, and all that sort of stuff. Ant-Man: Quantumania, probably maybe one of the worst. And then this one, it's good. It's probably, I have to say, it's almost it could have been great in that tier. It could have been in that great tier. It could have been in the list with Spider-Man: No Way Home and also Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But I just didn't really feel like it. So yeah, once again, me here talking about Marvel and kind of complain about it. And the thing is that I don't want to go into every Marvel review outright hating it and all that sort of stuff. I really don't. And all that sort, I just really don't. But yeah, we have some more Marvel projects coming out this year. We have the Marvels later in the fall, which kind of interested in how that film is going to play out. I'm still going to watch it. And of course, I'll talk about Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, whenever those shows come out, because we're in a bit of a Star Wars drought. But also, in terms of Marvel films, there is another one that I think a lot of people are actually happy about. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That should be a great one to talk about. We'll come back here. We'll talk about it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And we'll see all of you in the next one. See y'all later.